So I was watching the SummerSlam last night with my nephew. And it's good that he's getting into wrestling because wrestling is awesome. And it was actually a pretty good show. Now, the Rusev Jack Swagger match, I honestly didn't give two shits about. Because I had the idea that it was just going to be like a normal match, and then they were just going to like raise the winner's flag. Because WWF writers can't watch an actual flag match and figure out how it actually works. Which could have been done with Lana interfering for Rusev. But I didn't give two shits about that. And I didn't even watch the Randy Orton-Roman Reigns match because I didn't care about that one either. And by the way, I'm not wearing any pants right now. Just wanted to share. But the women's title match, I have to say, I have to take back the bad things I said about Paige. Because that was a really, really good match. And the fact that they're giving them a storyline finally is really good too. So it's like the women are actually finally being wrestlers and not just being half-naked people on the television screen. Unlike the men wrestlers who are three-quarters naked people on the television screen. Miz and Ziggler was good. I didn't like the fact Ziggler won. Especially since my nephew was rooting for The Miz, the same as I was. I don't remember. There was another one, but I don't remember it because I don't remember it. Half the time I was playing with him and half the time I was watching. And then I remember the Stephanie Brie Bella because I actually wanted to watch that, so I actually did. And there are two things I hated about it. One, the ending, which we'll get into later. And two, the fact that Stephanie looked like a competent wrestler. Which, if you're going to take someone like Stephanie, who's an on-air figure, not a wrestler, and make them into a competent wrestler, you have to show them training in a wrestling ring with other people. You could have easily brought Finlay back and had shown him training or better. But anyways. That's my bitch about that. And we'll get to the Cena-Lesnar match later. I also didn't like the ending. I didn't like that Stephanie won. I liked that Nikki turned on Brie. I liked that part. That was very smart. We're finally going to see a Bella Twins feud. But I didn't like that Stephanie won. So here's how I would have done the ending. I would have first... I know Stephanie was challenged to the Ice Bucket Challenge. So I would have had her earlier in the show say something about how she's not going to do it. So I would have had Brie come out with an ice bucket. You know, and pretty much say that, tell Lawler that she's going to force Stephanie to take the challenge afterwards. And I would have shown also earlier in the day Brie taking it. You know, because Nikki challenged her. So okay, we got that set up. Match goes on like normal. Triple H comes out. Brie like kicks him in the nuts or something to take him down. Stephanie almost gets the win. Brie kicks out. Brie takes out Stephanie. Gets the pinfall. She gets the ice bucket. She's in the ring, waving it around, and then Nikki comes out. You know, and you know they're talking a little bit. And Nikki does this thing where she's signaling she wants to raise Brie's arm. So Brie puts the bucket down. Nikki raises her arm and then kicks her in the stomach and does her finisher. Brie's down. Nikki picks up the bucket, dumps it on Brie, and then helps Stephanie to the back. That's how I would have done it. Stephanie gets her comeuppance, which the villain always has to get their comeuppance. That is the rule of wrestling. That is why Jim Cornette has no knees, because he understood this long before he was a booker. So the villain gets their comeuppance. Brie is embarrassed in the middle of the ring, and Nikki is still a heel. So yeah, there's that. Now we have the Lesnar-Cena match. I liked this match, though the audience was chanting boring. I found it entertaining. My nephew was asleep at this point because he passed out. I did not like the ending, though. I thought either one, Cena should have come back and won, because the way you book it with Lesnar just beating the crap out of Cena, Cena has to make a comeback. So either Cena should have won, or Cena should have been deemed unable to compete, which means he takes like 2 more F5s, a bunch of other moves, and the referee eventually just deemed Cena unable to compete. And that's how I would have ended it. Now, how I would have continued this feud is Cena's unable to compete. He takes about a month off. They sell his injuries. And then he comes back at the next pay-per-view. Or the next Raw after the next pay-per-view. I don't know when Lesnar's booked, so whatever. And he shows a video showing him training harder than ever. And he challenges Lesnar. Lesnar pretty much the next Monday does a video where he fuses. And so Cena chases Paul Heyman around and eventually beats the crap out of Heyman and blah, 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 blah. And Cena gets his match against Lesnar at Survivor Series, giving Cena the win and the title again. 1, he becomes a little bit darker and more vicious. And 2, it actually shows his training and stuff. I'm sorry about the coughing. My throat's going dry. So that's how I would have booked that match. I told you I had to book the Brie Stephanie match, the ending. How I would have done it. I know both ways are better than what WWE did, but I can't control WWE. Those were my only complaints. The AJ Lee Paige match was amazing. I haven't seen a women's match that good since I watched TNA. So yeah, it was a good deal. And by WWE Network, it's a good deal. That's what I watched it on. The price of 2 pay-per-views in WWE Network is pretty much the price of WWE Network for a year if you buy them without. So you buy SummerSlam and WrestleMania, that's $120, $130. WWE Network in a year is $120. So it's more than worth it.